Just want to thank the Oldham Enterprise Trust for giving me an opportunity to present some of my work. It is very difficult to speak about yourself. So thank you, Wendy, for dropping me in the deep end. Missing Graham, and we wish him the best. And wonderful to be here. So basically what I'm going to do is to share the journey of my 30 years of work. Particularly around the voluntary sector, what I've been doing. And basically, I have been committed to the serving the diverse community and fostering development and education right across the board. So I'm going to take you through that. I will try not to be too long. Yeah, it's 30 years. Yeah, and maybe it's going to be a 3-minute job, but I think it's about 20 minutes, yeah, okay? So let's go. So basically, briefly, my background is I came to UK in 1971, and I got my education here, most of my education here. Then I became an engineer, and then attended in 1986 Dartington College of Arts in Devon. Okay. I put in an application to a council to say I want to do Asian music, Indian music, and they says we don't entertain this. It's not in our system. Okay, so I approached a councillor and a musician who was the head of a Urdu department, who was well connected, and to say, can you appeal for me, please? Yeah. Anyway, I got a discretionary grant. I left my engineering job. My son was about 6 months old, who is now head of music in Qatar. And I went to Dartington, and that's where my journey started. Okay? So, then doing about a year and a half, 2 years there, I found the gaps that I saw in terms of the Asian arts, particularly within this system and with the provision, etc. So I founded CWTC, which stands for Central Wellbeing Training and Culture as now, but it used to be Asian Music Appreciation, because I was an Asian musician, and I thought, well, let's make a start. Even at that time, I had professional examiners who would come from London and India to examine my students through this syllabus, this frame of work that we went through, an examination system, coming to my house, because I didn't have a centre, okay? And I had students from Rochdale, Manchester, even Bradford coming to learn. So then the organisation became Multicultural Arts and Media Centre, again in line with the policies and needs as I started learning, etc. And now in 2017, it's now become Central Wellbeing Training and Culture, because that's what we do, what the needs were, and we could address that. And I was just talking to the Chair of Action Together just now. I'm actually a product of CVS back in those days, 1987. I got involved with CVS. They saw the passion, they saw the energy, and they also realized what was needed in terms of Rochdale Borough. I've said the name now, haven't I? Okay, Rochdale Borough. So he actually trained me to how to manage, look at constitution, look at policies, and look at the different strategies, etc. I got my training, lots of training, I went through them, and then my organization started becoming what it is now. And I still seek help from Action Together. Somebody sat over there, Jane, yeah, who's my officer when I'm working in Central Ward, or even with the borough as well. So the voluntary sector, the services it provides, and the belief I have within the voluntary sector, it goes beyond to what some people perhaps perceive or think about. I think they have a professionalism, they have a commitment, they have the knowledge to help people like me and the organization like me to get to where we are. Okay, so that's how my journey started. I started getting involved in the arts, education, organizing events and exhibitions around the country. I became a music teacher, what you call peripatetic music teacher for Bradford Council, and then a classroom-based teacher in Rochdale, and basically worked across the country, from Cleveland Arts, in London, doing workshops, organizing events, and engaging communities, diverse artists, workshops in schools, organizing melas, etc. And learning from the best, working with the best, and hopefully this is a product that you see now. I think I've been able to achieve lots of things, make the impact over the 30 years. Again, as I mentioned, in terms of working with the different cultural communities, artists, education, playing a significant role in organizing activities right across the country, even Europe and India, Pakistan. And then, importantly, continue to adapt the changes that you need to take the users forward, importantly, not just the organizations, the service users forward, so they can have a positive impact on their lives, well-being, and move in terms of their health and well-being and careers as well. So basically the mission is here, if I'll read it out here while you can have a look at that. Central Wellbeing Training and Culture, which is a registered charity, in partnership with community, enriches the quality of life for residents of all ages by providing educational opportunities, raising awareness of health and well-being, training volunteers, promoting artists and community groups. So in order to meet the mission statement, this is what we have achieved. And I'm part of this system, of course. So in terms of training and education, we continue to deliver training modules to support young people into media sector and produce learning materials for teachers. Community awareness, created awareness on dementia, diabetes, mental health in English and Urdu. Provide accredited courses, and we also are approved training center through Open Awards since 1999, and we deliver entry level to level 3. And lots of these courses are now online as well. So when we had the COVID period, we had some funding from Children Need to deliver initially by face-to-face, and then it's like 4 or 5 months into the COVID, I said to Children Need, I says, either take your money back, because I can't get people through the door, and or I develop things online as a plan B, so in future we are sustainable and it'll give us the expertise. And that was quite challenging, because to sort of like do this in line with the training providers that you have, it was difficult, because people seem to think you're stepping on their foot, which you're not actually. You are enhancing, you are creating pathways rather than, but eventually I worked with the expertise, got my media staff together, and we developed a system. So when we actually completed it, Open Awards said to us, Mohammed, this is fantastic, we will need you to help other organizations. Okay? Other projects we've done, organized Rochdale Mega Mela with Carnival over 15 years. We had an audience for anything when we started from, I don't know, from 2,000 people to about 14,000 when we finished. So worked with businesses from anything, majorettes, Morris dancing, Western bands, we had African bands, we had the professional Asian bands, working in schools, doing lots of projects in school. They used to call me the Mela Man. The kids, when you see them every year. Great energy, great learning, and great participation. Organized community engagement events with the local council and community safety team. remember when we had stand together projects happening around the borough because of the incidents. So we did an event together with the safety team, with the council at Haywood Civic Hall. And we had about 14 groups performing within those 2 hours. And it was packed out, attended by the mayor, the police and everybody. It was great to bring positiveness in the community and move forward. Many organised networking events to engage businesses with the voluntary sector, and we do that here now as well. And that's very important because the businesses need to engage with the voluntary sector to see the value of their contribution and to give back to each other. Okay. Am I following the order? Okay. Yeah. Number 5. National and international work, again working with diverse artists. So I've taken English artists, African artists, and Western artists to Pakistan for 3 years. I used to be a professional singer. I used to have a group called Shola Group. And so performing anywhere from Bridgewater Hall, Philharmonic Hall, Coastal Bristol, Wembley Theatre, did all that. And so taking these artists down, 3 months of rehearsals, with the dancers as well, and it was full show. You can imagine some of the performances we did in Pakistan, anything from 8,000 to 18,000 people. It was that big. The last performance was in front of the President Musharraf, Pakistan President Musharraf, so it was at that level, yeah. Just can you imagine, you know, executive coach waiting for the artists at the airport, and it was big protocol. So when we used to go, you know, the public used to go like that, and we used to, you know, fantastic. And the artists, especially the English artists, Western artists, had a wonderful time. I also took, I had a performing arts from schools as well, yeah, to change the perception, to have a added learning. So when they would come back, they would say, this is what fusion work is about, this is what Pakistan is all about. In fact, they had a music, forgot his name now, when we had the evaluation in Pakistan, he actually said, I will inform the British Council to change their wording about Pakistan, because Pakistan is not about this, it's what we physically see. So can you imagine the achievement that I think it was called Simon had to be able to pass on to their kids. Yeah. So again, it's about crossing those barriers and having a positive perception about a country or a community. So I was a music teacher and a few albums to name. Then I was also secretary for European Miller Network, supported by the Arts Council for about four years. So I helped to develop the strategies for melas and festivals across the country, so that they would have a better event management plan, artist sharing, sponsorship, liaison with the police, the council, etc., to make their events more of quality, safer, and bigger engagement. And through that, we went to across the country, Norway and India, hosted by the Culture Ministry of India, to again learn about why do we have engagement, why do we have such diverse groups on the stage. So it's basically when somebody comes through your event and goes out, what have they achieved? And so currently I'm managing a Sporting Communities Link project funded by Community Fund and Greg's Foundation, and on and off we do get funding from Action Together and other trusts as well. Community partnership, very important. You know, of all the time we have been working without the partners and the relevant stakeholders. It's not very, it doesn't really bring the impact that you need. You need the right people to be part of the projects and the work practice as well. So we have over the years, and we continue to work with the local councils, the NH schools, colleges, community centres, training providers, local business, and various organizations to have an impact on the projects. And this is our current center, by the way. I think some of you been there and some haven't. Again, this was a networking event with the different services. And that's Oldham College, sorry. That's Oldham College. I'll talk about UCindy in a minute. So again, we were asked to do a presentation at Oldham College, and we're currently now getting lots of volunteers from the Health and Social Services Level 3 course to do work at our place. Challenges is always challenges. Funding is the main one, and securing it every year is a very, very challenging itself. So hopefully we've come away from that now, because we're clearly saying, here's the proof, here's the evidence, here's what the need is. I'm now saying I'm not interested in ad hoc funding, yeah, or spoon feeding. Give us the money to deliver this and I'll make it work. We'll make it work. And thankfully, we're back on the track again for the next 3 years. Well, it's just about 2.5 years now, because we're 6 months into our project. And so that's with the community fund. So lots of great work which is taking place now. Community engagement, again, we feed on the feedback from the participants to go forward with things. Even if we have to review our projects, we would do that. We reported to the funder, we said this, we would do this, that was the need identified then, but then as people are coming through and actively taking part in projects, they would like this. And they're happy to allow us to make those changes, which is great, because they trust us and they know we're committed to getting the outcome that's needed. Policies changes, and I try to keep on top of that, because I think it's important to keep in line with the policies, with the council, with your funders, etc., to meet the needs of the communities. So again, if we have to adapt to things, we would do that. So the future, what is the future? Again, it's about how do we keep on, sustaining ourselves to keep going. And so it's always important that you keep on top of things, and the more engagement, the more relevant partnerships that you build up will help you to sustain the organization. Yeah? And it's not all the time that you are dependent on one funding, and funding is not, money is not always the issue. It's about how can you share the resources, the expertise, yeah, to come together and get that value for money, as well as sharing costs, etc., to be able to sustain your organization, etc. So we are extending our outreach at the moment. We've got the 3 part-time staff, would you believe? Yeah, okay, but that's fine. Okay, it's about making things happen. We moved into Oldham 3 years ago, and it's proving yourself what you can do, and hopefully the money will follow, resources will follow. And at the same time, we have now got 2 extra project workers who will do outreach work with the community groups to get them into the center, and also for us to go out as well. Because believe me, when you walk into our center, trust me, I've got you. Yeah, okay, it's sold. I guaranteed. Yeah. So we believe in what we do and what we can offer. Isn't that right, Cindy? Right. Okay. Programs, I think, again, is about continue to develop in line with the needs. So the current remote that we have is the Sporting Community Links project, and we're going to work very hard with that, and hopefully it will allow us to provide the service people need, and create a more sustainable project, rather than keep changing projects, Yeah, because some of the strengths that we are actually delivering is what the need is now and perhaps for the future as well. Youth engagement, we're working with young people from the Sixth Form College, from Oldham College, and Action Together on the social prescribing team and volunteers. And we're really making a great difference to those people who need confidence, skill building, and be able to meet different communities and hopefully move into a career that they will use those skills that they take from us. Technology, we have a podcast, community podcast, and when you go on our website, you will see the famous Jane on top of the list. So people who's come through the door, Health Watch, Citizen Advice, the radio, community radio. Cindy, did we do one? Not yet. Okay. And drugs and alcohol team. Services who are relevant to our project in a way. So there's an added value, yeah. So they can link in with us when we want to partnership. So they come in and they say, you know, this is good, we want to be part of this. And then as we find out other needs, because we can't fit everything, is to bring in other services who can benefit the community in other ways. So they come and do the podcast as well. So that's one of the ways which we reach out. And because we have a diverse audience, it helps the services as well. Then we have a professional audio recording studio and a video editing recording studio as well. So in terms of digital sort of need and you know the resources that's needed, we have built over the years, and I think we're quite comfortable in providing that provision to individuals and groups as well. So the way forward, I would say, okay, I don't know whether you can see my passion, but I breathe the voluntary sector in the work I do. Okay, I live with this. Yeah, I don't know what I would do. At one point in my 30 years, I had a gap of about 4 to 5 months. I became unemployed. Yeah, and I had a big centre. Yeah. Rochdale, you probably know, opposite Rochdale is called Dean House. Beautiful setup. And I couldn't sleep. I really couldn't sleep, yeah. And the funding was not available, etc. And so when I signed up, they couldn't find the right job for me. I couldn't find anything else. I didn't know what to do, you know. I also confused myself. Where do I go? And eventually they said, Mohammed, you have to get a job. I said, do you want me to work in Asda? They says, yeah, we have to, you know, you have to meet the policy. And then by luck, CCG, you probably heard, a clinical commissioning group come into Rochdale, yeah. Applications came through, yeah. I put the application in, and when all the successful applicants were in the town hall, the manager says, out of the 200 applications, Mohammed's was the best application. Yeah? And that really took us off and gave us a room for about 2.5 years till we got 3-year funding. Yeah? So I became part-time myself, like I've done now with this project. I dropped my salary to keep the organization going, and I'm proud of that, no problem. Yeah? So your passion, your focus has to be very important, anything what you do. Believe in it, yeah? Okay, and there'll be hurdles, but it's how to overcome that. Be patient about it, yeah? And then have a go. In terms of my work, I've always engaged with the diverse community, you know, learning from each other, sharing with each other, and now also feeling that, look, I think I can help. To be in that position, you have to work very hard. Always try to improve. Yeah, I'm learning all the time. Honestly, I'm learning all the time, and it's a great passion to have. You don't know. I learned so much from volunteers, my work placements. Yeah. My logo was designed by a volunteer. Yeah. When we actually chose the name of the center, it was done by a work experience people. Yeah. So that's the so being part of the what's this now? Be adaptable. Yeah, be adaptable to change. I change. Yeah, not because of the funding has come through, and I've got to change for that. No, it's about focusing yourself, with your management, with the people you work with, and say, look, we've got the skills and knowledge. Yeah, we can actually adopt that need to help the community because we've got all the resources and we've got all the experiences. We can do this, and so when you say Centre of Wellbeing, Training and Culture, this comes through those changes and adaptability, which has now helped us to where we are. Okay, so that's it. So thank you for listening, and that's our contact. That's what our place looks like. We're in the middle. Okay, we're in the middle here. So that's our, and we have a lift. Accessibility is there. Please come and have a cup of tea with us. And if we can do anything, particularly with the young people, we are here for you. Any questions, you're most welcome to ask.
Thank you. So, that was a very interesting journey.
Yeah.
Very passionate. I didn't know you were such a star as well. Okay. Has anyone got any questions? When did you get? Yeah. Listen, he regularly sends me video clips. Of him singing, by the way.
Come into my place, Oldham. That's where everything is. Yeah, that's one way of doing it.
We've got some young people here. Do you know, it's quite interesting that you obviously have followed your passion, and you've made your passion into a career and a job. And you also mentioned about volunteering. How important is volunteering?
So much. For people, in terms of the volunteering gives people such an experience, provided it's right, it's delivered right, you respect them not as volunteers, but as like staff. You've got to give them that status. When a volunteer comes to our door, I says, after they've had the induction, now you're the manager for this place. You are the manager for this place. So if you're going to be paying for light and heat and bills and everybody, would you like me to be sat on my backside and not do anything and just twiddle with fingers? So you give the responsibility straight away. Yeah, make them feel, yes, I've got to change myself. I've got to come on time. I've got to do this. And then, and when they finish the volunteering, they must feel they've achieved something. Our organization concerned is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And I think Cindy will say something on that.
I think for the young people here today, this is really important. I know you've called it the way forward, but I think there's a bit of a mantra there for the young people to really take on board. Stay passionate and resilient. Do something you love and you're passionate about. You believe in it, because it will be easier than trying to drive something else. And engaging actively, that's all about allowing other people into your inner fold and learning from them and teaching them. Constantly learn. You constantly need to learn about yourself and those around you. It's a constant learning journey. And the resilience and the adaptability is so key. So I think today that side for the young people should really resonate. There's some really fantastic messages in that. In a work placement, and I met Mohammed and I went to his center, and it's such, the whole ethos of the center just radiates in the center. And I partnered up this particular student with the center, and it's It's really what both of them need, if you see what I mean. He's doing some really fantastic work for the centre. But he's got this particular student has benefited from it. He's very capable, but it's just about being nurtured and being in that environment and being comfortable to learn. And he's found that at the centre, whereas another situation didn't work out for him. And which is fine. And this goes back to your learning journey. Him as a student learned that, you know what, this isn't for me. What's going on here? It might be ticking boxes, but it's not working for me. You've learned something there. So it's okay to also hold up your hand and say, hey, I need to make some changes. This is not making me happy. This isn't working. It's okay. That's all part of the learning, because you're learning about yourself and your needs. And then you try something else. And this particular student has been in a work placement now at the centre, and he's happy. He's happy. So he's doing the same work, but he's actually happy and he's engaged. And he's learned that about himself.
Yeah.
So it's okay it's nothing in life is a failure. No, I'm constantly failing, constantly flailing and failing, and it's just all of our journeys. And I can't say enough of that to the young people that we're.
Give him another round of applause. Well done.